What is going on, Jerome? So Minnesota Vikings are indeed back in action. First preseason game at historic U.S. Bank Stadium against the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's not so much about the opponent. Who cares? Diamond Dallas Turner is going to sack Aiden O'Connell 17,000 times, and it's going to be great. But what do you want to see today? So yesterday we went through the individual players that we want to see, and, of course, everything with McCarthy, his first debut. Even though it's preseason, don't care. Just seeing him in that purple, seeing him out there on the U.S. Bank Stadium turf, just launching piss missiles all over the place, fantastic. Also, could Sling and Slam Darnold be the quarterback of now? Could he help push the Vikings offense downfield with Jefferson, Addison, Hockenson eventually, and company? What's it going to look like? Can Darnold pan out on that potential of him being the number 3 overall pick? Kevin O'Connell back on the sidelines. What adjustments are going to be made on the offense this year? Now, obviously, everything in preseason is going to be vanilla, but there will be some. You'll be able to tell some of the broad strokes of the new game plan, a little bit of the gestalt of what's going to be going on, and it'll be good. Also, Brian Flores, all right, so obviously vanilla, playing defense, don't show anyone anything, but the Flores just going to bring just a smidgen. He can't help himself, man. Also, major this year is the new kick return and kickoff rules. Coach Hat, again, preseason, not going to show all of your secrets because I think that the kickoff is going to be a huge competitive advantage for teams that are knowledgeable in it and really buy in. But what are the broad strokes of what this thing is going to look like in the preseason this year? So here are 10 general Vikings team things that we want to see today. Obviously, number one, yes, Darnold and McCarthy. It's an opportunity for Darnold. I think that he can nail down the starting quarterback job for the beginning of the season today. So what he has to do, come out, look impressive. He's probably only going to play a couple of series. No Jefferson, obviously, but Darnold, look comfortable, sling it, don't give the ball to the other team, and then go from there. And with McCarthy, will McCarthy get some work with the ones? And O'Connell has said that they don't want to tell McCarthy when he's going to get work with the ones because they want to see if he can be the QB2, if he can be the backup. And if you're the backup, you never know when you're going in. You could always be a snap away. You have to be prepared. So that's where we're currently at. And McCarthy, he is the future of the franchise, and people are hyped to see him. So also, just seeing the fans' reaction to the highest drafted quarterback in team history, just like we're in. Also, a guy who's looked very, very damn good at training camp at times. It's important. Also, Darnold's ripped off 4 fantastic training camp practices. Hopefully that can carry over to the field. Number 2, first-team offensive line. Now, basically, O'Connell has ruled out Jefferson and Harrison Smith, non-injury related, but giving them rest. And he said that basically everyone else could potentially be playing on Saturday. Now, part of it is the reduction in preseason games, and you want to get some guys some new reps as you're working on things, some continuity, some chemistry, and stuff like that. And the first-team offensive line, so left to right with Darisaw and also Blake Brandel, Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and whatnot. They want to see what that thing is going to look like. And can Brandel and Ingram be your competent starting guards with Dalton Risner waiting in the wings? Is that what the plan is going to be? Now, early returns from training camp, obviously, camp is different than a game situation, but the first-team offensive line has looked pretty damn good, even though they're facing that Flores heat every single day, every single way. But, yeah, can Brandel and Ingram solidify themselves? Has Bradbury added weight? Can he still maintain his movement skills? Is that anchor a little bit better? So getting the first-team offensive line some live reps, I think, would be a really smart thing to do, even with a couple of veterans in that mix. Next up, number 3, the new kickoff. So, King Kene and Nwangu, I think, could potentially be the best-kept secret in the league. Now, number 1, for my money, he's the best kick returner under the old rules. Under the new rules, we're going to have more kick returns and more possibilities. I think he could be a really special player and a game changer and a game wrecker. Also, so Coach Daniels talked about having multiple returners back there, basically just splitting up the work, and how are teams going to go about attacking it. And some teams have tried the knuckleball, but then you end up at the 40. Some teams have tried pooching it. Some teams have tried whatever. And Daniels hasn't ruled out using a position player to kick off if they can consistently get it in that return zone. So could that be like Kamu Grugier-Hill, who's had 13 career kickoffs? What's going to happen there? So obviously we're not going to see the full plan But it's going to be interesting to see how Matt Daniels is going to approach this, both kicking off as well as returning. Number 4, defensive alignments. So, like I said, vanilla in preseason. Not going to see the full Monty of all Brian Flores' nice that he's going to bring. But in terms of alignment, there will be different personnel packages and groupings. And in terms of first team D-line, like how much does Jonah Williams, Jaquelin Roy, Levi Drake Rodriguez get in there? Does Harrison Phillips play at all? I don't think he necessarily needs to. Would love to see some more reps for the young guys. Also, Diamond Dallas Turner looks to play a lot on Saturday. How does he deploy with AVG? As well as Jonathan Grenard. Patrick Jones second had himself a hell of a training camp so far. What does that look like? Are the Vikings constantly in sub-package? What does a base 3-4 look like? And just go from there. Also, just the rotation at cornerback, especially with Shaq Griffin up on blocks. Probably it's going to be Evans and Murphy as the 2 corners in base, then Evans and Moreau probably on the outside in sub-package with Murphy in the slot. But yeah, so that's something to look at in the first preseason game. Number 5, physical camp payoff. Now, Kevin O'Connell has stressed more physicality in training camp, and that means a lot more 11-on-11 work in the trenches, offensive line, D-line, and you've seen some guys get dinged up, and Kevin O'Connell's also given guys days off because they want to manage that workload. Now, physical camp, ideally that's going to pay off in sure tackling in the defense, as well as definitely in the trenches. And if the Vikings are able to get things going along the defensive line, I think this defense could easily be top 10. And if the Vikings offensive line gets their ish together, this offense could easily be top 10 and inching towards top 5. So that's how important the trenches are. And, O'Connell doing a lot of self-scouting, and obviously he's not a dummy, know that they have to get more physical up front in both of the trenches. Number 6, heart and hustle pass rush. So this one's going to be fun, man. So not going to be a lot of spicy looks, not a lot of stunts, not a lot of games, not showing off, the goods of the very creative blitzes that Brian Flores can dial up. But in terms of just winning one-on-one spots and generating a pass rush with 4, what's it going to look like? I mean, Turner, can't wait to see Turner, man. All right. And also, Patrick Jones second, is he going to emerge in a contract year and get after it? What about Gabe Murphy? What about Owen Porter? What about Levi Drake Rodriguez, Jaquelin Roy, etc.? I just want to see these guys in that front 7 who can generate their own pass rush and just get after it. Next up, number 7, Will Rockard. That's right. So hopefully we have salvation from our kicking issues. 6th-round pick. He already won the kicking competition. He's looked very impressive in practice, making some bombs with a lot of room to spare. And, he's going to get all of the kicking work. How is he going to look? How is he kicking at U.S. Bank Stadium in his first game action? And hopefully he'll be here many, many years to come. Number 8, still sticking with teams, the punting competition. So Ryan Wright. He's so right he can't be wrong. And then Seth Vernon. Seth Vernon has a huge leg, but does he have the soft skills, including holding, to be able to overtake Wright in the punting competition? Or will Ryan Wright get things together? Will he respond well to that additional competition from Seth Vernon? Guess we'll see. Number 9, new O'Connell wrinkles. Now, as we said ad nauseum, we're not going to see all the razzle-dazzle, all of the fun stuff, but with Jefferson out, Addison's probably going to play a little bit, but also I'm intrigued to see Jalen Naylor. I'm intrigued to see Brandon Powell. What about other second-line receivers who have stepped up? Tristan Jackson, Thayer Thomas, Deshaun Jones, etc. Does Aaron Jones play a little bit in preseason? He says that he wants to. Ty Chandler, how does he work in there? And also, are they in a ton of 11 personnel, has been the case throughout Kevin O'Connell's first 2 seasons, or do they play a little bit more 21 personnel with 2 running backs and a tight end? Does C.J. Ham get a little bit more work? Do they run a little bit more 2 tight ends with Josh Oliver and T.J. Hawkinson? Not Hawkinson, Johnny Munt. So we'll see. I think that, again, that's something that you definitely can take away from preseason, the plays, the packages, the whatever, just whatever. But the personnel groupings and then the frequency of usage of different personnel packages, that's something that you can take away from. Lastly, number 10, the fans. So the offseason, most transformative of team history, moved on from Kurt into Neil, and now we got Dallas Turner, J.J. McCarthy, and the fans are amped up, man. and football is here. Like, there's a crisp in the air. Some places around the city's got down to 40 overnight. Woo! Football is here. And bring on the Raiders. Love the theme song. Gonna bring it to you. And hopefully Kevin O'Connell can win his first preseason game ever. Not that it matters. It really does not matter. But that's it. 10 things that we want to see today from the Vikings in their first preseason game against the Raiders. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.